You see me and Mati in California, you want to see vineyards or wine barrels, and all you see is water. Why?
Why water? So it's exactly right. We've driven through the valley floor, with the hills, all over. There's reservoirs and reservoirs and reservoirs of water. Why? What's the importance? We all know we live in the city. Turn on the spigot, you need a water your garden, you need a water wherever you are. You have drip irrigation, you just put on the water and you're good. That's not the case in California. When you want to plant a vineyard anywhere in California, you cannot get a permit to plant without showing that you have suffice water to plant. Now, what does that mean? You could just, wells, some areas are better than others. We have properties that have good wells, but in this area, Napa Valley, there's almost no wells. You could hit one there, but for the most part, I dug, as I told you yesterday, 7 wells. My biggest well is producing 16 gallons to the minute. That doesn't feed the water. That doesn't feed the vineyard. So what we need to do is reservoirs. The reservoirs collects, we have 3 of these reservoirs on the property. This collects water from the wells. We have some springs, and then we have the rain that comes off the mountains. Then we have tiles, meaning a pipe system under the ground around the vineyard. So the water that comes in the winter underground, we take that water. It's so important that we have to take all that collected and put it all in the reservoirs. So that's why we have the reservoirs. Look at that beautiful fish there.
It's gorgeous.
You cannot have a vineyard. We want to go ahead now. This is the hillside, right? So we're up in the hills in the Herzog Ridge. This is going to be a vineyard. Hopefully soon, this will be a vineyard. But I cannot get a permit to plant. I can't just plant a vineyard. Decide, okay, I have beautiful land on the hillside. This is going to make a great wine. Let's just go ahead and plant. Can't do that. Have to get a permit. And without showing on paper that I have enough water for the existing properties plus what I want to develop, I cannot get a permit.
So you're not allowed to just buy tankers with water as well?
If you're going to show that that's the case and you're not going to use any water and you're going to prove, you could do it. But that's going to be very expensive. If you're going to use gallons of water, it's going to be a fortune. Now, you could do is, if you want a dry farm, but until the vineyard gets established, you need water. Meaning you're going to say, I don't need to put water. You could dry farm. Once the vineyard, but that has to, you can only do that when the vineyard is very established and you're willing to forgo sometimes the fruit or whatever, no control. But for the most part, anybody that's planting today, that is not old school, that is doing everything based on numbers and figures, needs to have water. Like this, we're here in the midst of the heat spike. If you don't have water, your vines already would be showing stress and would be shutting down, and you
wouldn't have vintages. Yeah.
You would have what you would have, but you wouldn't have great quality ripe fruit what you want, because it would already shut down now and it would already go into the mode of starting to basically ripen where it's not ready yet. So this is one of the reservoirs.
How do you keep the reservoir from not drying out?
So it depends. In a drought year, this year we had a good year of rain. So that's why all the reservoirs are full. But in a dry year where there's not much, this goes down. Now this also gets, the first reservoir gets all the water there. When that is full, then we start backing up. So we keep on filling. I pump the wells, the springs, all of the areas, the drain tiles, wherever I could pump water, we pump water all the time. Now, some of it we take from the permit that we have with it, because it's an old vineyard and it has a permit, we are allowed to take out water from the creek from from December through May, I could pump out water. But I have to monitor how much water I take out, and I have to monitor what I'm using. If I don't use it, I have to put it back down. And so I have to, every one of these reservoirs have pump systems with meters that I could monitor what I put in, what I take out, and I have to report to the government. All of that needs to be reported to the government.
This is so interesting because we take water for granted, but without water, you have no wine. So guys,
at the end of the day, when Moishe says, why drink water if you could drink wine, it's actually starting to make sense.
Save water so we can have more wine.